Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of the F124 Driver Career Mode with Williams. This is episode number 10 for the Belgian Grand Prix. If you missed the previous episode at Silverstone, I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one as well. Because spoiler, well, you know, it was actually an okay home race. Sadly, losing out to Daniel Ricciardo as he claimed his first points of the season. As well, but nevertheless 7th is still a good result. Albon finished in 8th as well, so good points all round for the team. Yeah, big focus on upgrades as well. We've got a few things available, like tyre wears available. There's also weight reduction as well, which is always vitally important. But I think rear downforce is probably what I want to go for to balance that out. It's a major rear downforce. Should we rush it? That was my thinking, and you know, having that downforce on for Belgium would be fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to rush it. It's 40% off anyway, so it shouldn't cost too much, hopefully, to purchase if it fails. Unfortunately, however, the weight reduction that Albon purchased failed, so we'll purchase that for him as well. And then this just set off a thing. The rear downforce failed. Albon did a weight redistribution as well. That one failed. But he did purchase for me the failed rear downforce upgrade. So, you know, working together to improve this Williams there, myself and Alex Albon. So, yeah, he's purchased that. That unfortunately won't come in until after that. We will purchase the rear. It's a weight redistribution upgrade that will put us in front of Haas at the Italian Grand Prix. So a little bit disappointing to have those 3 upgrades there. A front downforce upgrade's gone on. I don't know how that's happened, but there we go. As well, I think as well, and then MGUH, which I really don't care. Yeah, it's annoying we didn't have those 3 upgrades, but knowing that they'll come in for Monza gives us a really good chance, as we've got some rain, heavy, full, wet rain for the race. That is not what I want to see as well, because apart from those laps I did for the review, which was on a default setup, yeah, I've not done any laps at all around this track. So obviously it's a new version. Yes, it's the similar layout to the previous version, but you know, I have a feeling memory when it comes to that. So yeah, in terms of R&D, we've jumped AlphaTauri, which is good as well. Upgrades for other people as well. Pretty much everyone bringing an upgrade. So yes, let's though move to qualifying for today's Belgian Grand Prix.
Welcome to the behemoth that they value so highly. This is Spa. It's high speed. It is really challenging. We have elevation, we have dramatic corners, and we have one driver in a few moments' time who will take pole position.
Now, interestingly, there is a little bit of a new mechanic. Ricciardo getting out the way of his teammate. That has caused yellow flags. It shouldn't be causing yellow flags. So, but yeah, interesting to see that happens. They do get out the way usually for the player, but it's very rarely you see them get out the way for another AI. But they have done that at Belgium apparently. Now, anyway, I'm not going to lie. First lap, P19. So yes, obviously I've compromised the wings for the rain, so I not expecting this lap to be any good. I've got a slipstream now down the Kemmel Straight. Now notice also the delta time. What happened is that the ERS around here is very, well, let's just say it drains a lot around this lap. Especially if you use overtake, not so much if you just stick to hot lap, but if you use a bit of overtake, especially down the Kemmel Straight, I'll have nothing left on my first run, which is why now, you know, I'm up 2/10 up on my previous best time as I come now towards Pouhon as well. I've saved a bit of DRS for that back straight where there is no DRS to help me out as well. We are still behind that Aston Martin, who's gone really wide now, and then almost comes back on the racing line. Did not want to see that. Almost 4/10 up now. This is a big improvement as well. 4 and a bit tenths up on Joe's time through sector 2. Now it's about trying to power through here, and look at that, you know, we've got a little bit left. That green bar on the bottom right, that's how much you can use over the lap. As soon as that hits 0, and look at that, we've deployed use. We're not using any ERS as well. So yeah, obviously an upgrade needed clearly, which we will purchase hopefully at the end of the next episode. Across the line we come though, and it's actually P14. So I think, you know, if I had a bit more consistency with the ERS, better ERS, you know, that doesn't deploys, you know, drains less of the battery percentage, you know, would have been close to Albon, who, fair play to him, P4 is a fantastic result as well. Bit disappointing for the 2 Mercedes, but then their performance in game is nothing like that. And Piastri with another shocker, he's really not having a good time of it in that second McLaren. So yeah, well, you know, points are probably on the cards. Let's hope we can get some. It's time for the race day's Belgian Grand Prix.
It's the Belgian Grand Prix, the site of the maiden victory of the Jordan team in 1998, the venue that Michael Schumacher made his debut in Formula One. There is so much history here amongst the beautiful nature. Spa in the rain. It's about the only thing that could make it more challenging and dramatic in this part of the world. We have plenty of heavy braking zones, we have fast corners, we have undulation. It's going to be a challenge at Les Combes, the bus stop chicane, but pretty much everywhere you look out on track. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Albon, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Tsunoda, Phoenix, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Joe, Gasly, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
It's not going to be easy to get another point-scoring finish from here, but give it your best shot.
So, it is raining big time as well. I always wonder why they've never modelled the big gazebo things that they have, but never mind. Race strategies are no stop on full wets as well. So, yeah, let's get cracking then. 5 red lights for a fully wet Belgian Grand Prix, and away I go, and it's actually an okay start. I usually get terrible starts in the rain and go backwards, but it's not too bad. Down the inside, so one of about 4 or 5 cars as usually do. Down the inside, I think that's Stroll in one of the Aston Martin's car. We're going to try and out-traction him, but of course AIOP traction, and he's gone past, but it's P10, which is not too bad. Albon has got in front of Perez, so he's onto the podium side by side down the hill with Charles Leclerc, but Leclerc will cut in front and take, although they are side by side, Leclerc will have that position, and oh my goodness, what on earth was that for Eau Rouge? There's contact with Russell as well, and Russell now, you know, I'm going to use a bit of overtake. He's lost his front end plate, and knowing the AR Niski's game, they won't replace that front wing, so he will be slow for the rest of this race. There's a replay on board. I mean, yeah, that is my fault. I will hand that to, I'll put that on me, you know. But the thing is, I was not in control of my car there. It's dreadful out here. You know, even with high winds, I'm still not struggling to keep in the straight line at some of the corners. I've dived up on the inside Lance Stroll. Yeah, I'll show a replay of this move because it's usually the outside this corner that I do make the move, but Stroll was going so slowly that, you know, he left the inside undefended, which is pretty much a rookie error. You always want to say, as Albon's locked up and he's lost the position to Perez. That's such a shame for Albon, who was on for his first podium of the season, and first podium since his Red Bull days. But Perez goes through now, and Albon will now just have to hang on for P4. But Yeah, as I've got really wide there, and I've come back on circuit with an absolute tank slacker. Virtual safety cars being deployed, and I actually made contact with Stroll way wide as well. And there was contact with Stroll. Stroll, in my view, has been unfairly given a 10-second time penalty. I mean, I'm out again, once again. I'm out of control, and what's happened to Perez? Perez going slowly, and Sergio Perez is out of the race with an engine failure. But yeah, on that incident with oh, red flag. Red flag deployed. Okay. Yeah, on that incident with Stroll, I think it's my fault, but you know, as I say, I've really got no control out there. Now, but however, where we are now, I think it's time for intermediates. I'm not joking. Time for intermediates, because those tyres were horrible. Those wets. There is a dry line, and it should be getting drier throughout this race. So it's a bit of a gamble, but hopefully it works out. Front lights out for the restart, and away we go. And it's an okay start, but as well. But they're all going to cover the inside here. There's an opportunity to get a move around the outside here of both. I think that's Hamilton and Sainz, and they've been caught napping on the inside of turn 1, and I've just beautifully hung it around the outside as Hamilton's going to come back. He's going to use a bit of his ERS and his battery, but nothing doing at the end of the Kemmel Straight. You can see that there is now a bit more visible dry line coming in, even though it is still fully raining, as well as Sainz there and Hamilton. Sainz tries to go and overtake Hamilton. Everyone else is still on the full wets. The amount of rain that's falling should be a full wets, and that's a lock-up for Tsunoda. Piastri trying to get past, but Tsunoda's able to hold on actually into turn 1. But yeah, the amount of rain that's falling suggests that's Albon. Another lock-up for Alex, and he's going to lose the position. Or is he? To Lando Norris. Side by side they go down the hill. Will Albon be able to keep the position? Yes, he will, through Eau Rouge and Radion. As well as Hamilton has another go here, we should be able to defend. But you can see, you know, despite the amount of rain that's falling, there is a dry line appearing, which shouldn't, you know, I think that's a bit of a glitch. There shouldn't be a dry line appearing, as Albon lucks up again. And this time, he will be punished by Lando Norris, who goes through and takes, tragically for Alex, a podium position away. As well, yet to have a podium for Williams in real life. As well, oh, he's in the gravel this time. Albon, I mean, we were given a ridiculous objective for overtaking him, but we have actually fulfilled that objective, because Albon, with a huge lock-up, goes straight on, and this time into the gravel. He goes. He will be able to rejoin, but further down the field. Such a shame for Albon. He was on for a good position. Somehow now, after being dreadful in the first part of this race, safety cars come out. What on earth's happened now? This has been This has been chaos. It's Hulkenberg. He's had a Spinala at turn 1, as well, and then he's ghosted. Yeah, don't really know why that really should be a safety car, but I mean, we're just happy to see the safety car at this point, because I think this is like the second one I've had in my career mode. Let me know how many of you've had in the comments below, as well. But the safety car won't be out for long, because we are approaching the end of the Grand Prix, so we're going to have 2 sprint laps to the end as well. This is probably Inter's conditions, I think, borderline Inter's wet conditions. I think the wets might still be the tyre of choice, because it's still standing water. Around the outside though, Alonso at turn 1. This is going to be a lovely move on the restart. Alonso will be kicking himself. He was on for a good result here, but you know, he was caught a bit napping and had a bit of a tank twitch on the rear end there, and unsettled his car. So I'm up to P4. Annoyingly for me, couldn't catch Norris, but you know, considering where I was and how woeful I was on the full wet tyre, to finish P4, I've cheesed that result. in my opinion. I should not have finished P4. Albon deserved to finish P4. You know, I was on for like P8, you know, but the red flag and the safety car helped me to close that gap. A couple of incidents there with Russell and Stroll. Stroll, as I say, really shouldn't have had that 10-second penalty. Really, it's more a racing incident because I've just lost control of the car out there as well on both of the incidents. Russell recovers, but yeah, my point behind Russell as well. Albon sadly didn't score, so he remains on 7 points. You know, that was his chance to, you know, to turn his season around and, you know, score possibly a podium. If not, he was on for P4, but those lockups cost him today as well. In terms of the constructors, we remain P6. We're not really in danger of finishing it in any other position, really. Still too far behind Aston and Mercedes, and too far in front of the other four teams as well. We've got accolade though for crossing 50 points in a championship career, so we get increased experience for that. We are now in a championship rivalry with George Russell as well. So 71 points to win that rivalry. As well, I think they need to increase that a little bit. You know, it might be, you could probably earn that in one race. The experience goes up to 64. Racecraft goes up a lot as well, but then we've got some ridiculous amount of overtakes because that's still bugged. Focus up as well. It's a good day ratings wise as I move closer and closer to 73 rated as well. But yeah, I do think that we're all going to end up eventually on 99 rated. I'm not joking. We will end up on 99 rated. The AI also need adjusting as well, how they gain ratings as well, because they're not really moving up. You know, I've moved up 4. Our ones hardly moved at all as well. And we're shy of a perk on the manufacturing expert, but we do unlock another perk on the QA tester. So, a position that Cody's need to employ somebody in. But yes, 4th place, second best result of the season. I mean, I'm very happy with that. Absolutely over the moon with P4. I did not expect to get P4 in that with that race, especially the wet. You know, Belgium has had an update as well. So so although it's not like driving a new track, let's say like Qatar as well. Yeah, but still, there are some corners being remodeled, and it's about adjusting those, getting used to where, oh, this is the new line to take through that corner, for example. The next episode will be out later in the week at Monza, and that will probably be the last of this, little band of good results, because, Canada, Austria, Britain, Belgium and Italy, Monza, are some of my best tracks as well. Singapore, Brazil, Vegas, Qatar, those 4 aren't such good tracks for me as well. We've got 2 sprint races as well in those episodes. Qatar will probably be the worst of that, because I've only ever done 2 races around that track as well, so I'm interested to see how it handles in F124. I've not done any laps at all around that track yet, and the final track will be in Abu Dhabi, which should be a lot better than that's probably of the tracks remaining apart from Monza, my best chance of getting some good points as well, and showing McLaren where they need to place me for season 2. But yes, that's where I'm going to leave it today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, see plenty more F124 driver career mode videos as when they come out until the next video. Then I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.